Hello folks, today is Friday, May 27th, 2022. As usual, my name is Jake Baldino, here to talk about all the video game news that has been going on this week. Do I look like a mess? It's because I am. I'm very sick, so I apologize if I get something wrong or I miss some news, but the show must go on, baby. We got a lot to talk about. Ugh. So the first thing is PS5 Pro and next Xboxes are on the way. Maybe, possibly, sort of. Who knows? So the gist is this. This spread like wildfire a couple of days ago, specifically because the mega giant Chinese electronics manufacturer TCL had a whole trade show presentation, slideshow type of thing, and they're claiming that they're gearing up for the next generation or next updated revamped versions of these consoles. This isn't even the first time that we've heard reports or speculation like this or anything, but because it is coming from such a large manufacturer, people went wild with it. People think it's pretty legit. Me personally, I'm on the wait and see thing just because of how the chip shortages are still a thing. I think that kind of messes with the strategy a little bit. But on the other hand, revisions for technology are always going to happen, so maybe it's true. But TCL just really wants to make 8K and above 8K happen and become mainstream. So I assume they would be falling over themselves being excited for the possibility of something like a PS5 Pro or Xbox, whatever. But they specifically called it a half generation, and they're expecting it to kick off next year. I'm taking it with a grain of salt. You believe it if you want. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that still don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox and they want one, and they're like, oh, great. But moving on to some more interesting business inside baseball type news. Apparently, Marvel almost inked a deal with Microsoft to make an exclusive game. This is a pretty interesting story that I will link in the description down below. Everything I talk about will be linked down there. But this is specifically coming from the head of Marvel Games, saying that a deal was sought with Microsoft years ago when the Activision licensing thing wasn't working out so great with the Spider-Man games. The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 quality and performance led to them kind of looking at each other and going, this isn't working. So then Marvel approached Xbox, but Xbox at the time turned it down specifically because they wanted to focus on their own first-party things. They want to bring up their own intellectual property first. I really just wonder what that would have been like, some sort of alternate future, considering they have different types of studios at Microsoft compared to what Sony has. So we could have gotten a completely different type of game, but I would have loved to have seen something cool, like maybe Microsoft would have made the Daredevil game that got canceled many, many years ago. Who knows? But the big business news just keeps on coming, dude. The other thing that dropped this week that I thought sounded like a pretty big deal is the fact that EA, according to these reports, of course, are actively seeking a buyer. They are apparently seeking specifically a sale or a merger, and they've already had conversations with Disney, Apple, and Amazon. The report suggests that they are actively and persistently looking for a buyer. According to the report, this is actually partially fueled by some of the big acquisitions like Microsoft and Activision Blizzard and stuff like that. So it's interesting. I think it's also interesting considering that they're now also no longer making FIFA games, or they're not going to be having that official license. So there's a lot of business to EA that is more than just like they make games that some gamers really hate and they do bad things with microtransactions. The report also suggests a possible thing with them working with ESPN. So I think it actually is going to go even beyond their traditional style games, even though they're not even putting out as many as they used to, but more so the sports games, the mobile games, stuff like that. Will this come to fruition? I don't know. But it's a weird industry. Stranger things have happened, so we'll have to just wait and see. Next up, real quick, this episode is brought to you by nothing. Just you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for dealing with our sponsors. Thank you for clicking, supporting, everything. We really appreciate it. So, yeah, much love to you. Corny, but I think it's important to shout you guys out sometimes. Next up, Elden Ring's multiplayer is being fixed, sort of, specifically by modders. So apparently very soon, it's actually today, the public beta for the Elden Ring Seamless Co-op mod is going to be a thing. Essentially what this does is allows 4-player co-op in a more traditional, easily accessible way. This is Luke Yui who made this mod, who also did the Sekiro online stuff, which we talked about years ago. That was really, really impressive. So if you're a PC player and you like the multiplayer shenanigans, this could be pretty cool. This is just another example that I talk about all the time. When people like games enough, they make really cool shit, and they'll also fix things or improve things. And this seems like a great example, especially if this public beta really works out. Oh, and in case you missed it, more news from PlayStation or Sony. about adapting their properties into other things. So we've talked about it in the past. We know there is a God of War show coming through Amazon. We know that HBO is working on The Last of Us, but now we have confirmation that Netflix is making a Horizon Zero Dawn thing, and also there is a Gran Turismo show or movie in the works, which I wonder what that would be like. Obviously, it's a very early announcement. I think it does show that Sony is backing up what they've been saying, that they want to become a platform and really build out their IP and have it spread across all media. So this is not actually happening. But the news really, what I saw, reactions of people were mostly just like, meh. I don't know. Are people burned out from, studios trying to make video game things happen? Reactions are pretty mixed on the Halo show. I also never feel like I needed a Horizon Zero Dawn show. I feel like that is going to need a hell of a budget for those special effects. Woo! But who knows? What if they turn out absolutely awesome? In this type of thing, love being proven wrong, dude. Oh, also, I thought it was worth highlighting, small story, but we talk almost every single week about a game delay. For the last 2 years or so, a game has been delayed every month at the very least. And now we actually have a confirmation of a small game that I thought was going to get delayed. Not. Scorn. This is that Xbox console exclusive, that gross H.R. Giger art-inspired first-person shooter. This game has been in the works since 2014 or something like that, and they tweeted to somebody saying, no, we're still expected to come out at the end of 2022. So there you have it. There's one game not delayed. I'm just trying to look on the bright side here. Along with that, something else I caught this week is for PlayStation VR 2. We're just flip-flopping between the two big console guys this week. Apologies. The PlayStation VR 2 is apparently going to launch with over 20 games. Apparently, they're working very hard to build up first and third party titles to make the launch really significant. And as a fan of VR, I hear that and I say, good. VR needs everything it can get to survive, and it's going to need a big push like this to really immediately establish PlayStation VR 2 as the home console gaming thing, because it has a lot of competition now with the Meta Quest thing being wireless and easy to set up, and they have sold a lot. Two other little things I wanted to share. Operator stuff for Rainbow Six Siege. It's like a Yakuza crossover, so you can have your Rainbow Six operator, the specific one. I forgot who. I haven't played it in years. But he can look like Kazuma-Kiryu, which is sick, because he is low-key one of the best video game protagonists ever. But yeah, I just kind of wanted an excuse to talk about Yakuza for a second. Excellent series. I'm starting to lose it. The NyQuil is hitting me. Also, No Man's Sky. We've talked about a lot of their updates. They also just dropped a new expedition. These are smaller things, but this is actually a pretty big one. Leviathan. So this is kind of like a time loop roguelite type of thing to experience in the game. The little trailer that they showed off with it seems cool. Just more stuff. We made a whole dedicated video on that. If you haven't seen that, check that out. But also, I did link in the description down below our before you buy video for Sniper Elite 5. Some first impressions from yours truly. I was a little sick when I made that video too, but it's another one. They made another one, and it's still good. Along with that, for you eagle-eyed people who've been paying attention, the Callisto Protocol has been getting a lot of updates this week. It had a Game Informer cover thing. This is the Glenn Schofield, the guy who created Dead Space, his new spiritual successor to Dead Space. There's screenshots that are pretty awesome. We know the character's name is Jacob. He's fighting against biophages. It's so Dead Space. It's unashamed how Dead Space it is. I believe they even confirmed Josh Duhamel, the real actor, is playing the main character. You're going to have very simple weapons. You're going to be weak. You're going to have a device that lets you push and pull things as well. And also, Glenn Schofield, the creator, did come out and say that this game is not part of the PUBG universe, which you might hear and go, what? What are you talking about? Yes, when they announced this game, because it's a deal with the publisher, the PUBG publisher owner, it was actually technically going to take place in the world of PUBG until they realized that's stupid and no one cares. So... Am I going crazy? God. So now it's just its own thing, and I was excited ever since I saw that cinematic teaser trailer, and it sounds like it's shaping up to what I want it to be. A spiritual successor, a new, cool Dead Space style thing. Survival horror needs to come back hard. I know, it has its moments still, but if we could get it kicking and consistent like in the 90s and early 2000s, that would be great. Also, interestingly enough, it is technically still slated for 2022. We'll see about that, but that's all the news this week. I gotta go to bed. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments what you think about the possibility of a PS5 Pro and a next Xbox. Do you think that's a pipe dream? Definitely let me know what you think about these new Sony shows. Would you watch a Horizon Zero Dawn show? I mean, I would, definitely, but who knows how that could be. Let's talk about any of this stuff, and also, of course, in our pinned comment down in the comments. Let us know what you're playing this weekend for our research. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sitting and listening to me be sick. I appreciate that. All you got to do is click the like button. It helps. But be well, be safe. If you're having a nice holiday weekend, I hope you enjoy it. I'm Jake Baldino. Pizza's on me. Good night.